Our holistic water project in the South Tyne catchment started as a scheme to improve water quality and reduce the amount of treatment needed due to sediment in the water. We challenged ourselves to achieve this in a novel way.
Our focus is the South Tyne catchment, an area of some 800 square kilometres. So it was quite daunting at first to know where to start and how best to get the most from such an ambitious project. Instead of taking a more traditional route, we decided to approach the challenge in a way that gave wider environmental benefits for rivers and biodiversity, whilst also building climate change resilience for the natural environment. So we brought together other organisations working in the area, and their knowledge and enthusiasm spurred us on to develop a grant scheme to work with and support others to deliver river-based projects. We worked with environmental organisations and directly with farmers to tackle the places where fine sediment was getting into rivers across the whole catchment. We found that one of the biggest challenges for partners is getting money to take draft ideas and develop them into plans for delivery on the ground. Only when detailed plans are in place can they apply for the funding available to carry out the work. We decided to plug that gap and fund our partners to deliver ambitious landscape and river restoration projects across the catchment. In this video, you'll get to see some of the many projects we've helped support.
The Tipalt Burn is an important tributary of the River South Tyne, and there were a lot of opportunities for river-based projects to be delivered there.
So at the Tipalt, we'll be working over a stretch of about 3 kilometres to create wetlands, restore paleo channels, install woody debris to reconnect the river to its floodplain. That will create natural flood management, water quality and habitat benefits for the watercourse itself and further downstream. The river restoration work we've been able to deliver here would not have been possible without Northumbrian Water plugging the funding gap and enabling us to work with the Environment Agency to deliver the work on the ground.
Well, it was really great that we were able to get some support. We'd started off noticing that we'd got erosion along the escarpment here and started planting trees in a very slow manner that was going to take us a long time to be able to fence it off and get what would have taken us several years probably to do. Get it done in one season is absolutely fantastic. It'll improve the environment, it'll definitely improve water quality because of stopping some of the erosion, and it should be really an improvement for wildlife as well. The majority of the farmers in the area are very keen on improving their environment. We are very lucky that we live and farm in a beautiful part of the world, and we want to keep it that way.
The How Gilbeck here at Geltstale OSPB Reserve was straightened centuries ago. The earliest map I found was 1791, so it's been straight for a long time. And it's had centuries of dredging, which over the years has created, basically perched the stream, and it's now higher than the rest of the meadow, and it's not connected to its floodplain at all. In the 2 years since the scheme was delivered, we have seen 2 pairs of common sandpiper nest along the watercourse. These are absent from this part of the reserve before the completion of the project, along with feeding redshanks, curlew, oystercatcher and lapwing. High numbers of snipe have been seen using the flowing wetland in times of drought. So the funding from Northumbrian Water allowed us to develop detailed plans and to get diggers on site and to naturalise this watercourse and most importantly connect it back to its floodplain. The success of this scheme led us to look at another watercourse across the reserve, and we're delivering another restoration scheme in the upper part of this beck, which includes tree planting, the creation of wet woodland habitat and pools to support a number of dragonfly species and amphibians. So since the completion of this project, I've had lots of positive comments. We have a lot of people who use the reserve quite frequently, and one thing they say is they can hear the beck more. It's the sound of the water. But obviously like bird-wise, like the island is quite near the track. We had nesting lapwing and common sandpiper on that. So it's also, allowing people to see more. So yeah, it's been very, very positive.
We worked in partnership with the RSPB and the farmers here in the upper part of the catchment to plant hedges and trees across the farm as well as create wader habitat. The river here is very steep and can be very powerful, quickly eroding its banks and moving soil downstream, Some of the tree planting was done along the river's edge to stabilise the banks and prevent livestock from contributing more sediment to the river.
I'm a conservation officer, work for the RSPB, and I got involved in the South Tyne project because a farmer contacted me and said that he wanted to do some stuff on his farm.
So Janet, to a lot of people this might just look like a muddy puddle, but there's a great deal more going on here, isn't there?
Yes, there is. It is a muddy puddle essentially, but it's really important for the birds. It's got very shallow edges, which means that the birds can walk in and out of there really easily and feed. There are lots of invertebrates and insect life in there, so there's lots of food in there. It's slowing water coming down off the hill before it hits the watercourse. So it's got lots of things going for it. It's not just a muddy puddle.
As a farm advisor, I'm always looking for opportunities to help farmers make improvements on their farm, and government grants do help with that, but there's often shortfalls, which means that projects aren't viable. And working with Northumbrian Water has helped to deliver those projects in places that it sometimes wouldn't be possible. In the South Tyne catchment, Northumbrian Water has plugged those gaps and enabled farmers to deliver improvements to their farm infrastructure while reducing the risk of pollutants getting into rivers. The range of stuff that Northumbrian Water have helped us with here has been fantastic, from tree planting to potential concreting to help with that, and watercourse crossings. It's a little bit of everything. It's been a breath of fresh air.
We've really enjoyed working together with our partners and landowners to improve water quality across the South Tyne catchment. Together we have made a real difference, which is something we should all be proud of. The sharing of knowledge and ideas has led to collaboration, which has seen the delivery of a number of small and large-scale projects with an impact both locally and further downstream. We'll continue to work together because of the strength of the relationships this project has helped establish. The legacy, a shared vision for improving our rivers, something we hope to widen out to other catchments in the future.